Hello everyone, and welcome to BHC Studios, and welcome to my latest video. Now you're looking at these four cameras here: X Pro 3 3514, Leica Deluxe 8, X100F, and the Ricoh GR3. What do all four of these have in common? Well, they all have square hood products on there, and the most iconic is the square hood on the X100 series. I think Thomas said this is his bestseller. I think they're on their third or fourth iteration, different shapes. This is my favorite shape here with a bit of a flare on here, and it does screw in. I'll show exactly how it works. There's a little thread, a little screw there. It comes with a little screwdriver, and it's just more stable. It just kind of stays on. It is metal and feels solid and looks sexy here on the X100F, and even on, here we go. So here is my X Pro 3. He also makes these thumb rests, these brass thumb rests, and look at how nicely that's brassing there. And as well, you could see that little tiny brass soft shutter button there. This is also from Squarehood, so I thought these two would match. And this might look like it is the OEM 35mm 1.4 Squarehood, but it is not. This is also from Squarehood. It's actually it's slightly smaller than the original, and this actually does thread in like this, like the original. No need to use that little screw system here. And so this is actually a really nice, even though it's like maybe like a couple of millimeters shorter, it makes a big difference when you have this on your side and shooting. So this actually has 1, 2, 3 square hood items on this camera here, and this, you guys know, this is one of my favorite autofocus interchangeable lens cameras that I have. The M10R is my favorite from Leica, and when I want to shoot manually, and M-mount lenses. But for autofocus, this is my favorite. This is right there. See, even classic neg film simulation setup here. But love this camera, and I love Squarehood Accessories on here. And right here, Deluxe 8, you're thinking, well, where's the Squarehood item? Bang, right there. That red shutter release is also from Squarehood. They don't make a hood for this because this is a zooming lens. And I asked Thomas, I said, can you make a lens hood for this? And he said, just because of the nature of the design, not worth it. But this red soft shutter, it is brass and then painted with red. It looks like it belongs on this camera. In fact, maybe Leica should have this as an OEM soft shutter release for their Deluxe series. And then finally here we have the GR3. Now this lens hood here, again, also kind of clips in, it locks in and threads in like the OEM one, but that one you need to use that little intermediary coupler or whatever it's called, and then you put that, and it makes it big. This is much shorter and squatter and makes more sense, but it also comes with a built-in filter. Now, Thomas initially asked me, like, what do you think? Will this work? And I said, it's a little weird. And I kind of was like, I know why he has it on, which is a lot of dust comes in and out when you turn this on and off because of the design of this lens. The Deluxe 8 has the same problem of dust on sensor. So having something like this, it makes it less likely for dust to get in here. But there is another item. Oh, this is an Angelo Pelle half case with this neck strap. This is, for me, the best half case and strap solution for the Ricoh GR3. So Angelo Pelle. But here are some new items here. I'm gonna basically put all of these on. And so one of the items here is for the GR3. So let's open this up here. So my first unboxing / unbagging is, look at that. It is a brand new brass thumb rest for the GR3. So you put this here like this. It's right. It's nice and tight fit. There you go. Look at that. And that is just perfect right there, and has that little notch there and a space so you can press down on this rear toggle dial on the back here. But look at that. Now the reason why I had to order is because I did have it before, but I lost it. So here we go. So look at this now. We have the Squarehood hood, we have the thumb rest, and then an Angelo Pelle case and strap. This is an amazing looking Ricoh GR. Now one of the things I've been bugging Thomas for years is for him to make M-mount lens hoods, and he has. The first one he made was, I think, for the 35 f2 pre-aspherical series, and he gave me some to give away. I gave one to Andrea Pacella of Leica, and then he forwarded it and gave it to John Seipel of Tokyo Camera Style, and they both said they love it. And I also gave it away to other friends as well, and they also love it. But there's two lenses that I wanted him to make a square hood for. One of them is my beloved 28 Summicron v.1. Now, without the lens hood, this is a decent sized lens here, right? It's not overly bad. It's spherical, it's 28, it's f2. But with this hood, this infamous plastic hood, and this square cap, this square lens cap, look at this monstrosity. This was kind of not the greatest era of lens hoods for Leica. It makes sense in terms of like, okay, it's plastic, so it's lighter, it's a little bit more durable, you can bang it around a little bit more, and it's square, which is really cool, but at the same time, they're more fragile. Now, this is my second one I have, and just the hood, like sometimes if you want to get this combo right here, this hood and the lens cap, it could be up to like $400. It's very expensive because, you know, this is like over 20 years old. They don't make these anymore, and so they're difficult to get. And so one thing that I said, Thomas, can you please make a square hood for my 28 Summicron? All right, so let's put this down here. And this lens right here, this is the 40mm M-Rokkor. Now this was designed for the Minolta CLE and the Leica CL, and there was a Leica version of it, the 40 Summicron, but this is the M-Rokkor, and you could see this is the OEM hood. It is a rubber kind of collapsible lens hood, but like most of them, they tear. See that tear there? So it's kind of cheap. You kind of thread it on like this, and then if you put a filter on here, it's just really weird. And so this is another lens that I said, Thomas, I know this is a quirky lens. I mean, there's enough of them out there, but I said, can you make a lens hood for this? So these two had like my two favorite M-mount lenses, 28 Summicron, 40mm M-Rokkor. Just, I had lens hood issues as much as I love them. I bought different third-party screw-on ventilated hoods, and they just never really seemed to work for me. Well, Thomas just made one for each of these. So I'm going to do a real-time, let's put it on right now, and super excited. So here we go. So these are the two right here. These, I think this is for the 28 Summicron. So let's open this one up first. Packaging is nice, says Squarehood. I love how he uses different colors. I don't know if they mean anything or not. And I'm not sure if I already mentioned this, but I met Thomas at the Stockholm Fujifilm X Summit, and we hung out for a couple of days. He came over from the hotel, we had breakfast, we went shooting, we hung out at the X Summit as well. All right, so we are here at Fujikina, and this is our first victim. Guest is Thomas of Squarehood. Thank you for talking with us.
Thank you for having me.
That's the beautiful Fujifilm camera. It's just a Ricoh. Anyways, and so thank you so much, Thomas, for sending these out to me, and as well as kind of listening to me. I'm sure I'm not the only one that asked for it, but he has a little instructions so you can use this QR code, but I'm going to just try to figure it out on my own. You get these little tiny, I think, rubber caps for the screws when you put it on, and now here is the lens hood. I did ask him if he can make them in brass, and he said no, it'll be too expensive. And so, beggars can't be choosers, Tuck is happy. Oh, it's nice. It has this snap-on type lens hood like this, like that. Instead of like the rubber type that you kind of trying to force it in, but it doesn't really stay. Look at that. And there's that little hole for the rangefinder patch. And here is the little threaded screw here. So I will, I don't know if I want to do this on camera, only because, and look, right? It's not maybe a huge difference, but at least it's not plastic. And at least it's going to be screwed on tightly. And it looks like, yeah, there's also a thread here, so I could still put a filter on the outside. So that's fantastic. And so I'm going to just look at this here right now. Yeah, there you go. You see that? So this will fit over here. Right? Look at that. And all I need to do, I'm pretty sure, alright, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to loosen this here. There's a little screw here. Let's loosen this up, and I think this will, alright, and there's another one on the other side here, so I'm loosening it as well. Now it's coming loose. Here we go. There we go. So this is loose. And I think what I do is put this on here, I guess. Yeah. So you take this off, right? So I think one of the things I need to do is to air blow this, right? To make sure there's no dust left on here, on the edge of this little railing. See this little line there? That's where the original lens cap here would just kind of like pinch on. So make sure this is all clean. Always have a toothbrush handy here to make sure that all the dust and everything's gone. Then you grab this little collar and you thread this on here. Look at that, nice and tight. And it doesn't affect the aperture ring there, so there you go. And then you can still put a filter on here, just threading right in there. And now you grab this and you put this, and of course you make sure that this right there, that little hole is for the viewfinder, and you just kind of line up right there to the center. Now I guess, again, you need to kind of see where that center is. There you go. That's the middle. It lines up to the F2. And now you just tighten the screws. So there's the first screw right here. Tighten that up. Alright. And the other screw, it's so tiny. It fell off. Man alive. It's a very, very shallow screw. So I'm going to screw this. Can you see that? There's a screw right there. And there you go. That's it. Screw there. Screw there. And this is it. That's it. Look at that. What do you guys think? I think that looks amazing. Whoa. Super happy. I'll just take the lens off just so you can sort of see it on its own. How does that look? It looks more like a modern 28 Summicron, doesn't it? With the proper threaded. And you know, this is his workaround because there is no official threading on the lens. So he had to make this little coupling, this little coupler, and then this slides over. But wow. This looks amazing. So, wow. Super excited. All right, so number one. Now let's move on to my 40 M-Rokkor right here. So, it also gives you 2 extra little screws in case you lose it. So, good to keep these somewhere safe. Now, let's open up the 40 M-Rokkor. Oh, and also the new lens cap, right? Just slips on, bang. And then it says Squarehood right there. But maybe, sorry Thomas, maybe I'll just put a little like, because no, I won't do that. I don't want to advertise. This just looks, look at that. It looks so cool. Alright, so put this down here. And now this is for my 40 M-Rokkor. Again, I love this, the colors that he uses for his packaging, but you know, you're going to just throw out the packaging later. Well, recycle the packaging later, right? And so, here we go. This is so cute. Oh man, this is like a baby version of the other one. Look at this. Look how cute this is. And it has that same kind of, oh, this one here. Oh, this is cool. This is actually more complicated. It kind of snaps in like that. I almost would rather have this style on this one as well, but again, beggars can't be choosers. It says Squarehood on here, and so you just pinch the top. That's how it comes off. Nice and tiny. Look at that. And same design. You have the 2 screws on either side. And I think, again, you thread this on. So let's just first of all see. Because there is, let me see here. Wow. It's very, oh, this one here you have to thread on. Because you can, if you can see there, there's no place. There's no place for the collar like on the 28 for it to fit on. So this one here, you have to screw on, okay? But the chances of it lining up perfectly here, like, you know, like this, is almost impossible, right? But we'll see what happens. Yeah, see, it stops here, right? So it doesn't obviously line up, and that's where the screws come into play. You just basically, these tiny, tiny little screws here, just loosen it up. Loose on one side. And here's the other screw on the other side here. Can you see that? Alright, so let's loosen this up here. Alright, so both those screws are loose. So I should be able to now move this. Yeah, there you go. And then they give you that little dot, which is perfect because it lines up to the original lens dot. See that? It lines up perfectly here. And then I'll just tighten up the 2 screws again. So there's the first one right over here, if you can see that. Here's the second screw on the other side. tighten this, and there you go. Look at that. Now, obviously, ideally, if you thread this on, you want it to kind of stop right there like it was an OEM lens hood, but you know, this lens was made like 50 years ago, right? Or 40 years ago. And so because of it, you just can't design it that way. I mean, if this was originally designed like this, and let's take the lens off again, so again, you can see it without the body. Look at that. I mean, gorgeous. It looks like it belongs. Thomas, you outdid yourself this time on this hood. There you go. Now that, oh man, this looks so cool. And then if I just want to put a cap on it, bada bing, here we go. So here are my two favorite Leica lenses, the 40 M-Rokkor, or if you have the 40 Summicron, which from what I heard from Thomas, the connection is different. So I don't think you can use this on the Leica version. I'll put down in the notes below, and maybe he already has another version for this. Again, I'll put notes down below and links down below. And then here is the 28 Summicron. I mean, these are just hoods, right? But it just transforms the camera. Look how cool that is. And for those of you wondering, these soft shutter releases, the brass ones, these are actually made by Retro Photo Reading in Reading USA. And so these are made by Michael, and you see that knurling on the edge. This is the thick version, and this is the thin version. I've given a lot of these away all over the world, and they love these. So these are also beautiful, but I also do enjoy these really low profile, tiny little soft shutter releases from Thomas from Squarehood as well. So these are cool, and these are cool, but man alive, look at these lenses. Tackett is so happy. And so I'm gonna just put this one away because this is still worth like $400. It's very expensive. I don't need to worry about breaking this and having to replace it. I have the Squarehood one. If I break it or anything, then I just buy another one, right? And then here, this is the Minolta one. Again, I'm kind of a collector, so even though this is broken, it says Minolta on here, and this is the OEM hood. So if I ever sell this lens, which I don't think I ever will, I would give the Squarehood one and say, look, I have the original one as well, and I do have the original back cap. But these two cameras now, you know, something as small as a lens, literally small as a lens hood and as inexpensive a lens hood has really transformed this lens. It just looks way more handsome now. And all these cameras here, and let's just clean this up a little bit here. Anyways, all these cameras here with all the various Squarehood accessories, like the lens hood on this, the thumb rest here, shutter button. This one here, it has the hood, thumb rest, and the shutter button. And of course, the X100. If you have an X100, I think it's a no-brainer. Get a Squarehood. 2, 3, maybe 4 versions of types of hoods in different finishes. I think this one here is the most handsome in my opinion, but whatever style you like. And then now I have an extra red button, and I was going to put it on this Leica because again, like this one, it is a Leica, so maybe I'll do it right now. Let's just do it. Sorry, Retro Photo Reading. This is beautiful, but just to match the Leica red dot, I thought I would open this one. And there is, on this little button, I mean, it's so small, the packaging has to be put like this. There is a little rubber, might not even see it here. Oh, I think I just dropped it. It's so small here. It's a little rubber O-ring that you can put underneath this threaded shutter release here. I mean, look how small this is. This is just tiny, right? And so depending on the depth of your shutter threading here, I don't know if this one, yeah, see this one I don't think needs it. So all I do is basically you put it on here and you just kind of spin it with your thumb. So it doesn't feel as, I guess I would call it secure because of that. But once it's on, it doesn't move, right? And I can see right now, it's sitting right up against there. I guess for this camera, I don't need this little gasket, so I'm going to leave it off. But what do you think? I think that looks fantastic, right? It matches the red dot. It matches the maple leaf. This is for those of you wondering, this is my 50th anniversary Elcan. Came out in 2002. Ernst Lights Canada was first started in Midland, Ontario in 1952. So 2002 with the 50th anniversary. So you can see that 50 here with the little maple leaf logo. This is a limited edition. They only made 50 of these. And so this, I think this looks great. Oh, and this is the Camera Craft grip on here. And for those of you may have noticed, This is the IDS thumb rest here. It was basically, I guess, inspired by the M10D, where it had this kind of fake shutter lever here, and because of it, it actually helps you hold. See that? How it can hold it like this? It's kind of cool, right? Where if it's like this, I mean, I can still hold it, but you have to kind of keep it up this way. This thing here, you just leave your thumb behind here. So this is from the IDS, great accessory, but I mean, the point is these two. Man alive, I'm super excited. I'm going on vacation tomorrow too, so I'm taking these two lenses with me. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, Thomas, for sending me the new 40 M-Rokkor hood, the 28mm Summicron v.1 lens hood. They may work on other bodies, but you have to check the specs from their website. Let me know if you have any Squarehood products. Let me know if you have any questions, but all of these are really functional and useful accessories that really help to enhance my shooting comfort, as well as my shooting experience, as well as protecting my gear, as well as kind of, you know, like the torque using these little shutter releases, having stuff like this. But Squarehood, thank you so much. Super excited. We'll talk to you soon, and happy shooting. All right. Peace. Oh man, so excited.